was the old man in Japan. Today I want to talk about things that are, to me, are reversed in Japanese, or in Japan. Starting with driving, you drive on the left-hand side of the road. Well, that, of course, is not that unusual. It's done the same in England and other countries, but it's different from America. Secondly, text is written top to bottom for one line, and then the next line is to the left of that. So you're going down the page and then to the left and down the page and so on. And why is that? Well, there actually is a good reason for why they started that. In the old days, you wrote on a scroll, not on flat sheets of paper. So you had the scroll on your left side, and you used your left hand to unroll it, and your right hand side wrote top to bottom, and then move over a little bit, and top to bottom, and move over a little bit, and so on. So it's left to right, it's right to left, vertical lines. And so the books today are published the same way, and as a result, they're bound on the left, so bound on the right, so that you open it the reverse way from American books. To some degree, that's changing. Computers have made Western-style writing popular, and use of Western words has also influenced it. So you'll see many publications written Western style. Addresses are fascinating. They don't have street names in Japan. They have block numbers. So your address might be 427. That means you live in District 4 of the city that you're in, and on block number 2 and house number 7. But 7 is a little misleading too, because the house numbers are in the order they were built. So house number 1 in a block might be one corner, and house number 2 might be on the opposite corner, and 3 next to that, and 4 somewhere else, and so on. So you don't know where a house is by its number. Fortunately, nowadays, smartphones have made life much simpler. You can just plug in the house number, and it will show you exactly where that house is and how to get there. In speaking, we use prepositions like to, from, and so on, over, under. In Japan, they use postpositions. They're actually called particles, and particles have a lot more meaning, use than just as prepositions, or postpositions. But they come after the word. So you don't say on the table, you say table on. You don't say from New York, you say New York from. And by the way, the verb is always at the end of the word, of the sentence. So you would say, I, New York to going, instead of I'm going to New York. Also, they don't use articles. There's no the, and so on. And there's a lot more to Japanese grammar than that, and it's actually quite simple compared with English. There's only a set way of conjugating verbs. There are only 2 verbs that, of all the verbs in Japanese, there are only 2 that are irregular. Think of English with I saw, I see, I read, I read, I go, I went, and so on. Almost every verb has its own conjugation, it seems, in English, but Japanese is very consistent and very logical. In America, we call 911 when we have an emergency. In Japan, you call 119 if you have a medical emergency or a fire. You call 110 if you want the police. And there are a bunch of others, and I have to look at them. There's 104 if you want directory assistance, 106 if you want an operator to help you make a collect call. 108 if you want to make an automatic collect call, and I don't know how that works. 113 if you need a phone repair service. 114 if you want to check your line. 116 if you're moving and you need to change your phone. 117 will get you the time and weather. 118 if you have an emergency at sea. And finally, there are some other numbers for English and other foreign language assistance. I found it interesting in class when I was studying Japanese. The instructor wants to tell you how to pronounce a word. Konnichiwa, for instance. You say wa, nichiwa, konnichiwa. Where we would go the other direction. Konnichiwa. So let's end today with no tipping. You don't tip a waiter, you don't tip a cab driver, you don't tip anybody. The idea is that the management pays their people well enough that they don't need the tips. And if you do leave a tip, you create a crisis. The management, you're telling the management you're not paying your people well enough. The waiter doesn't know what to do with the tip and gets all flustered. So don't leave a tip. So that's my tip for today. We'll do some more another day. Stay tuned. Bye-bye.